Good morning, gentlemen. It is Monday morning, July 6th, and I would like to thank everybody for your introduction and participation in week one, the discussion board. I would like to quickly review what we did last week, and I would like to quickly introduce what we're going to do this week. I also want to acknowledge the fact that I just kind of sent a cranky old guy email to everyone about these videos and about the videos in the course, and so really let me make a comment there. These videos have proven to be very effective over the years in communicating a lot of information to people. It is one of the primary tools that I use, and I think those who do use them and watch them in return find them to be effective. I also am very aware of changing technologies and manners of delivering material in an online format and even in an on-campus format. We really don't do things like we did when I was a college student back in 1973. So it's what we have to do now is much different, and I don't mean that we have to do what we have learned to do. And one of the things I constantly worry about is whether people are actually getting to and using the material that we provide. This is a no-book course, so all the material is there as learning resources and is provided for you to use. The video resources that I prepare change week to week, and they change with the circumstances either of what is going on in our course or maybe what's going on in the topical areas of our course in the world of sport economics. And this renders it fairly important that you pay attention to it. So that's why everybody got the nasty gram a few minutes ago. And I really request that people watch the videos, look at them closely. If there's a request made in there, please get back to me. I asked for people to suggest a time when we might be able to have a live session. This is important stuff, and I will stop complaining now and get into the material of the course for the first week and the second. Okay, first week we really asked you to come up with major issues, and I was really very happy, as I may have said to a couple of people, really happy to see the level at which people want to discuss things. The whole idea of this course is to get you to understand the basics of the business and economics of sport. It is a business course. It is an economics course. We're looking at things from a perspective, as I said, of a club owner, of a municipality, of anything higher than a general manager and up, let's put it that way, in terms of that. A college athletic director, a college president, a conference commissioner, if we wanted to look at things in the world of college sports. The Olympic Committee would be another candidate for our perspective, okay? Not just the IOC, but the National Olympic Committees. What does it all mean at that level? And to do that, we have to get out of the tendency that we all have, and it's very natural for those of us who are passionate about sports to think like sports fans. Can't do that. Can't do that in this class because it's going to take us down to a level where we start accepting quick information and living with preconceptions and just passionate ideas that we think about. And a lot of times we're going to find out that what we're doing here is breaking down misconceptions and misinformation. Nothing wrong with what you've learned, but it's not exactly the whole story is what I'm trying to tell you. So that's what we're trying to work on here, all right? And I think you'll find it very interesting. I think you'll find it a more direct way of understanding what sport is all about than just trying to figure it out. It's so easy to get lost in our passion for the event, for the sports themselves. That being said, where are we going with week two? Week two, we start looking at the economic and business purposes of a sports franchise. Why do they exist? And you're going to come up with two overriding themes, okay? Not so much in the why do they exist in this, being manner, but why do they do what they do? Why do leagues and teams and economic decisions happen the way they do? And one of the things I think I want people to look out for is the preconceptions about how teams make money and why do they make money. And we have some presentations for you. We have some very detailed academic writing, which is kind of long and difficult to digest for some people, but it's there for a reason and it's very important. Some video presentations that I think explain the issues at hand. But what we really want to do is have us understand, are there things that we take for granted that maybe we shouldn't? One thing, in the years I've been teaching this course, one of the first preconceptions that I notice people always come in with is the idea of everything revolves around ticket sales. I think you're going to start to find out that may not be true. Not that ticket sales aren't important, but they mean different things to different levels of sport. I know we have a Cowboys fan in here. Do ticket sales mean as much to the Dallas Cowboys as they do to, say, the Jacksonville Jaguars? Or maybe, do ticket sales mean as much to the New York Yankees as they do to the Hartford Yard Goats AA ball team? Okay? Do ticket sales mean as much to Alabama as they do to a Division III school? These are the kind of questions I think we need to understand, because we'll find out that ticket sales are, in many cases, not what our preconceived notion says they are. The other thing we want to understand, too, is that at the highest level, what are sport franchises focused on? Are the franchises focused on being profitable, or are they focused on building value? And in economics, those are two related, highly related, but different concepts. And just think about it. If you're the owner of a team, do you want to make a profit, or do you want to build value? And do they mean different things? Do they mean different things to how you'll behave and how you will market your team, how you'll position your team, how you will function within your league? What do you expect your league to do for you? Okay, so these are all different issues I think you want to look at. So this week, more than others, really, here's where I really urge you to take your sports fan hat off. Okay. It's okay to be a fan. It's okay to use your favorite team as an example, as a learning tool, as a vehicle that drives your thought processes. But here's where you want to be thinking about the economics of it. What are the conditions underlying where we go with the sport? And what's really fascinating right now is, given the environment we're living in worldwide, look, we understand that this changes not only week to week, but day to day, in some cases hour to hour. We really don't know what's going to happen with a lot of our sports structures in the next few weeks, okay? I mean, look at it this way. In the U.S. here, it's July 6th, and we haven't seen a Major League Baseball game yet. We see the NBA attempting to start in a few weeks, and yet today I'm reading of teams closing their facilities down. Things are in flux. That's the only word I can think for it. Things are changing so rapidly, it's up to us to keep our options open and to keep our thought options open. So I think this is going to keep us on our toes as students and scholars. So make sure you're aware of what's going on around you. Make sure you factor that into your thinking. Make sure you're thinking at a high level and a big picture. Thank you very much for your observations up front and your interest. I think what we'll try to do is to use more of these sessions, and I would like us to use a live session. So that will be coming up, but I can't do that without your input. I really need to know how to schedule this and get you some instructions on how to join. So please do that. Please acknowledge that you've kind of, if you can, let me know that you've seen this and we understand each other here, where we're going. I'm not annoyed with people or anything yet. I'm just trying to emphasize the importance of using some of the technical tools that we do. Okay, thanks again. I'm really looking forward to this week. This one is where it really gets interesting. Okay, thank you very much.